Hi everyone, we are going to start our new notes packet today. So you want to be able to find the KC4 note packet. And so on our Teams page, I'll just use first period as an example. On our Teams page on the left-hand side, there is a folder called KC4. You may notice that we have skipped KC3. We will do it second semester if we have time, but KC4 is more important. And so KC4, if you click on this folder, you'll be able to see the KC4 notes. So you need to make sure that you are writing them down somewhere, writing on your screen, print them to OneNote. You can come into the building if you want. And then here's a resource sheet that we will need to use. But regardless, you want to get to your notes. And so here we are. And so here's our notes packet. The first 2 pages of our notes packet is going to be all vocab, and it's going to be vocab for the whole unit. Probability is heavy on vocab, and it's not hard vocab, so I don't want you to be afraid of it, but it's important. And so I put them all in the beginning of your packet, so when you're on a test or a quiz, you can just find them easily. So we're going to fill out the first 3 bubbles today. We're going to define what probability is, what the experimental probability is, and what theoretical probability is. And I'm not going to write that for you. I have it right here. I have it right here all written out. And so I would like for you to pause this video and copy down these words, and I'm going to explain them. So you need to copy them down and then listen to my explanation though. So probability is the likelihood that an event will occur. So how likely is it that I win the lottery, the probability that I win the lottery? And so the type of format that we usually use is P of A. We usually write P of A. That means the probability, and then in parentheses, we put the event happening. So the probability of the event happening, and that's equal to a formula. And the formula is the number of favorable outcomes, which is what you want, divided by the total number of outcomes. So if you learn anything from probability, I want you to learn that the formula is equal to want over total. Probability is equal to what you want divided by your total. What you want divided by your total. And that'll make a lot of sense with a lot of the examples that we do. So what you want over your total. So probability can be written as a fraction, a decimal, a percentage. We're going to look at it in the forms of fractions. So what you want over your total. If you remember anything, please remember this. And then we have 2 types of probabilities. We have experimental probability and theoretical. Experimental probability is based on an actual experiment. It's based on the results of an actual experiment. And so it really happened. I have data to show you. So if I flip a coin 10 times, I can tell you that the results that I got, because I did it, were I got 7 heads and 3 tails. So it's based on what actually happened. I have facts to prove it. Whereas theoretical data or theoretical probability is based on mathematical reasoning. Probability based on mathematical reasoning. It's what should happen. In a perfect world, what should happen. So if I flip a coin, it should be a 50-50 chance that I get heads or tails, right? I have 1 heads, 1 tails. And so if I flipped a coin 10 times, I should be able to get heads 5 times, and I should be able to get tails 5 times. In a perfect world, I would get them half and half. But the world isn't perfect. That's why we have coronavirus, because it's not perfect. And so we have to know the difference between experimental and theoretical data probability. So please pause this video to make sure that you get the vocab words down. Pause those and get the vocab down. And then once you do that, we are going to be on the starting target A. So that's on page 4. And so just a little bit more about probability. Probability is the value from 0 to 1 that measures how likely an event is to happen. So like I said, probability will be given in the forms of ratios, decimals, and percents. And the closer that is that my number is to 1 is how likely it is to happen. If I have a 0.9 probability or 9 out of 10 probability of winning the lottery, I have a really high chance of winning the lottery. And the closer that my number is to 0 is the more or less likely it's going to be. If I have a 1 in a million chance of winning the lottery, I'm probably not going to win.